Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Hoopla Y'all show. I am your host, Sharon Pitcher. I'm just giving you a little preview of a little hoop move we're going to be doing this show episode. So we'll be giving you a little tutorial on that. And yeah, I'm very excited. So welcome to the Hoopla Y'all show. And I'm broadcasting on two cameras, so we'll see how this goes. Just experimenting with all the technology. So the Hoop Love Y'all show is I talk about health, humor, and hooping. Who am I? I am Shay Rippinger of Head to Hoopla, and I have a hula hoop business where I teach hoop dance fitness, I teach health, and I do it with humor. Hence all of that. So welcome, welcome, welcome. And this is episode 79. I'm going to be referring to my script notes, and this very excited about this as I'm getting up there in episode numbers. Hey, and this is a quick show, so hopefully we'll have you in and out in 20 minutes. That's my goal. I did a really great one last one. So this is a series called the Mind Body Connection series. There's 6 parts to this series, and we've been covering, and I've been relating this with the chakras of the body. So we've started at the head, actually the crown chakra, third eye, throat, heart, solar plexus, sacral, and tonight we're going to cover the root chakra, and this will be probably part 1 of 2 of the root chakra because I have a guest expert coming in on the next episode that's going to help cover the root chakra and some really cool information about that. But I'm going to give you some introductory information on the root chakra on this episode. So thanks so much for watching. And so the mind-body connection is really an interesting and cool and trippy and very interrelated thing. So the mind influences the body influences the mind. So obviously when you're in pain, the body is influencing the mind, and then vice versa, because it starts going into a cyclical pattern of, of influence of one, interrelating with the other. So why I'm bringing in the chakras on that is because there's energetic balances in the body. So, and I'm covering the root chakra tonight, which the color of the root chakra happens to be red, hence why I'm wearing a little bit of red. And I've even got my forgive the brand name, I'm not even into Hershey Kisses, but I just thought these pants were cute. So and they were on sale for Valentine's Day, and it's not Valentine's Day, but I just thought I'd wear them because I hadn't worn them yet. So they're just cute. And but the root chakra has to do with the sexual energy. So, and the root chakra is like literally down in that crotchal region. And perhaps this is your first tuning in with the show. If you are tuning in live, welcome. Comment where you're watching from live, and if you're watching on the recording, thank you. Whether you're watching live or on the recording, I appreciate it. But we're talking about, I like to bring in humor even on serious topics, because sometimes you've got to keep things a little bit lighthearted. So anyway, but the root chakra, so the crotchal region, not probably a word of crotchal, but I do come from humor writing background, many years of being a cartoonist and a professional humor relationship columnist for the Denver Post. So years doing the cartooning, and then a little while doing the Denver Post column work. Anyway, so I've covered a lot of relationship issues and things like that. All of this has to do with it's all interconnected. So I was listening to something with Kate Northrup. So Kate Northrup is Christiane Northrup's daughter, and Christiane Northrup wrote Women's Body, Women's Wisdom, is a big thick book on, it's basically, if you're a woman, you should have this book. It's a really great book on just all the good stuff, and she's writing now about aging in such a way that you just bring all your power with you. So but I really love Kate, her daughter, covers her topic that she covers a lot of is money. And one thing that she happened to say one time was about, if you are stuck in your finances, get up and move your hips. So do it with me now. Even if you're totally rich and you have all your finances all worked out, just try this and we're going to do this as a little laughter yoga exercise. I'm going to go a little out of order on this, but and I'm going to do it with a hoop. You don't have to do it with a hoop, but she said move your hips. So because we have a lot of stuck energy in our hips, so what we're going to do, I'm going to grab the hoop. You don't have to have a hoop. If you have a hoop, great, grab it. If you don't, that's okay too. So what we're doing is we're taking our hips and we're circling around nice and big and getting some nice big energy in there. And we're going to be smiling while we do this. Take a nice big inhale in and exhale out. Inhale in, exhale out. Inhale in, exhale out. And you can make this into a hoop move if you like. So you're making contact with the hoop, and you can do this in the other direction as well. So take a nice deep inhale in and exhale it out. A nice big hip movement. Inhale in, exhale out. Inhale in and exhale out. So at the end of laughter yoga exercises, so that nice big hip circle exercise, and you can even take and just shimmy shake this out a little bit if you want. Just get some of that stuck energy out of the hips, out of the root chakra. Remember, the crotchal region is the root chakra, so it's a lot of the sex organs had to do with all of that region there. And but it's not necessarily, doesn't always have to be on the sexual note, but it can be. So, and that's a part of all of us. So, you know, I even just talked to some wonderful people, so I'm going to be having some new guests on the show, and we're going to be covering some really interesting topics coming up. So I'm very excited about that. So keep staying tuned, and I will let you know who those people are coming up and the topics that we're going to be covering too. So, and if you're not already getting in the hip to hoopla circle, the inner circle, then please do join. You can go to my website, www.hipthehoopla.com. You can sign up for the email and get a free gift too. And it's a great little free gift that you can get. So you can sign up for that, and then you'll know about the guests coming up. Thank you so much to my live viewers. And Bill, thanks so much. He's watching from a mountaintop too. Awesome. So anyway, so at the end of laughter yoga exercises too, getting back to that, to conclude that and finish that out, we take our hands together nice and big and wide, and we go very good, yay. Very good, yay. We do that twice. That helps us conclude the laughter yoga exercise, which we just did with the hips rotating around. And so why are the hips, the root chakra, why am I talking about that? Why is this important with the mind-body connection? This whole area is a very, a lot of us sit during the day. We get a lot of stuck energy in this area here. So one of the things that you just want to move the whole body, get blood flowing. When you sit, you cut off your blood supply a little bit at least. You know, you don't have the free flow that you have with standing when you are sitting. So, you know, if you're working, if you're in a job where you're seated all day, try and get up, you know, at least once an hour if you can. Or even if you can't get up, I've had jobs where you don't get to get up until you have a break or a lunch or whatever. So if you're in a job like that, even just sit and move around in your chair, move your legs. This is where fidgeting comes in real handy. You know, you can do a little shimmy in your chair. If you're driving a long distance, you can do that too. So you need to do this carefully, and it's better if you're a passenger than the driver, because I've done belly dance moves in my car. They're great if you're stuck in traffic and you're at a full stop and you're paying attention to your driving and all the people around you. But if you are moving down the road, be real careful with trying to get your belly dance moves in there or hoop moves or whatever, because you can move across the road very easily. I did that once, and I don't recommend that. Don't do that. So stay safe. Do it if you're parked in traffic or you're literally in the car and the ignition is off, then that's a safe time to do that. But yeah, you can move around, stretch the legs out. Forgot to say, the theme of this particular show is Legos. So we're talking about the legs and also the root chakra as well, and the mind body the connection with all that. This is our support system. So if this portion of your body isn't happy, if there's pain in this area, then it affects the whole rest of the body as well, because it, so like if you have sciatica, for instance, that can start in the lower portion of the back and then go up. And if you've had that, and I have, it's extremely painful. And there's different levels of course. Sometimes people need medication for it, but there are lots of things that you can do to help change that up. One thing that you can do is not, and I've been guilty of this, not wear a real heavy purse on one side, because your posture is really a very crucial thing in how your body and mind all react and connect together. So if you have a big heavy purse and you're like slumped over with that, if you can have, or kids with a backpack. I remember when I was younger and had backpack at school, and it was cool to just carry it with one shoulder, and that sucker was filled with a lot of stuff. So or I carried a big duffel bag with my school supplies and all the after school extracurricular stuff and everything like that. And I had a huge duffel bag that I carried all my gear in, and it was ridiculous. I'm surprised it even fit in my locker. But anyway, but yeah, you can throw your body and your posture off. So here's a health recommendation. So I cover health, humor, and hooping, and this is a small little health recommendation, and this has to do with your root chakra as well. So this is it's just a simple pelvic tilt. So, first of all, what you want to do is take a nice deep breath in, roll the shoulders back. This helps get the upper body in alignment, and you're going to lead those shoulders back and leave this chest nice and lifted. Then what you're going to do is you're going to just breathe in, and you're not sucking in the stomach and just, pulling in the muscles and trying to clench tight. But what I call it is wrapping the muscles so that you have just you're aware of the muscles, and you're wrapping and pulling them in. So you're trying to take the belly button and pull it up on an angle towards the back. But then with this is a thing that a lot of us do. We stand kind of like this, and this is our natural posture, where we just kind of stand. Our shoulders may be slumped, and our belly kind of pooches out, and our butt kind of sticks out, our bottom, or bum if you're in the UK. So anyway, but this is slouchy posture. This is bad posture, and it's bad for your body. It's bad for your mind, and the reason why it's bad for your mind is because this gets us into a very low level, low energy state. So this when you start moving your posture, so you start opening up the chest, you open up the lungs for oxygenation. You also just raise and you start looking up. This helps give you confidence. So even when you don't think you have it or you want to have it, try this. Lift up, pull this in nice and gently, and wrap these muscles. And then I want you to do this extra step. This is really important. You do a little tailbone tuck. It's a pelvic tuck. We call this a pelvic tuck from dance. I've taught dance for 3+ decades. But what you're doing is you're taking the rear from being stuck out in the back, and you're just gently tucking this in. It's not a big, you're not throwing the hips forward like that. It's not that big of a movement. It's just a little tuck. So from here to here. So it's just a small little adjustment, but it makes a big difference. And if you want a little extra with that, tighten those booty muscles. So just bring the buttocks up, and you don't have to clench, but you want to just engage the muscles. So engage the core, engage the rear, and engage the upper portion of the body. So when you do this, this is going to help the overall posture. And this is important when standing, and it's also important when sitting as well. And it's really important when dancing. So you will have a much longer time that you have this body usage available if you have good posture while you're doing these things. So I understand when we're learning, we start losing posture because we're concentrating on something new, but try to do these things, and that is going to be a really good solid foundation for you to learn anything and everything else that you want to do when you have really good posture and technique. So, okay, on that note, I'm going to, I already teased the move of doing, I'm going to say hi to a new person that just joined the broadcast. So, so thank you so much for watching live. I really appreciate it. Hearts out to everybody. So this is a back extension of leg hooping. So basically, not quite backwards hooping, but what we're going to be doing is it's going to look, okay, let's see if I can do this in a small space. Sort of like so. Okay, lifting up, and I'm going to walk you through this of how you can do this. Now, I am using a very small hoop because I am in a very small space. So here to here, I can touch the walls. So, and I'm a fairly short person. I'm only like 5'1", so a little, I wouldn't say height challenge, but I'm a petite person, if you will. So anyway, but what you're going to try and do, first of all, point your toes. So when you do this back leg extension, try and point the toes. I have shoes on that don't really allow me to point, that make it look like I'm pointing, but I've got a rock solid point in for my foot, but the shoe doesn't make it look like that. But what we're going to be doing is you're going to stick your leg in the hoop and place it there, and then get the hoop moving. And what I would like you to do to start out with, if you're not used to doing this leg hooping, is to have something that you can brace on. I have a little door here that is just handy, so I don't have to fall over if I don't want to. So also with a smaller hoop, you do not have to have the full flexibility. If you have a larger hoop, you're going to have a little bit more flexibility to get your leg off the ground higher so that the hoop doesn't hit the ground, because if the hoop hits the ground, it's going to die. So it'll just, instead of, you know, rotating around, it'll hit the ground, it'll touch the ground once and it'll die. So we want to try and avoid that. So what I'm doing is I'm doing left leg, and it doesn't matter which way you spin the hoop. Spin it however you want, but at first you're just going to spin the hoop, and without any leg movement, the hoop will rotate around the leg for at least a few rotations, if you give it a nice good spin around there. And you know, part of it is you have to get a nice solid straight spin rotation. If you give it a really wonky spin, it's going to go all over the place. It's probably going to die pretty quick. So when I say die, it's going to just flatten out. It's just going to drop, or you know, it's going to lose energy. It's going to be like boom. So that's what I mean by die. So dead hoop in the water, which is different from hoop ED, where from here to there. So some of you have been on my broadcast before. You already know about hoop ED. So where you have hoop droop. Ooh, ooh. Okay. So what you're doing, take your leg out, point the toe, and then get a nice rotation going. And then what I want you to do is take the leg and bounce it up and down. So this is the same thing as if you're waist hooping or doing anything on, like if you're rotating on hand. See, hit the door, or win a prize. So you're getting this bounce. So that you're going to be doing this with your leg, bounce, 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 and you want to keep it nice and consistent and get that bounce in. So let's try that. Let's see how many hoops I can drop and step on. Okay, so if you want, give yourself a good brace, point the leg, lift it up, give it a good spin, and see, now that good spin, and it died. So, but give it a good bounce, keep going. So you're doing a little bounce with the leg, but your bounce is actually with your supporting leg. So if I've got the hoop on my left leg, that's actually remaining nice and still, but I'm bouncing with the supporting leg. So I'm bouncing with the right leg. So let's try that again. I'm bouncing with the right leg. So the right leg's going. So if this is the ground, boom, boom, boom. And it's just a little bend extension, and you're definitely not hyperextending. Don't let your leg go in a hyperextension. So bend the way your leg is supposed to bend. So where your knee is, it's supposed to bend that way, not that way. So unless you're a rhythmic gymnast or you train especially for that. Otherwise, if you're like most normal people, just, you know, keep your extension nice and safe. So what we're going to be doing, put that back on the leg, give it a good spin, give it a better spin, and bounce, 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 bounce. Without that movement, you have no hoop going, hoop flow. So bounce, bounce, bounce. I keep hitting this thing on my desk. So let's try this again. There we go. So I'm reaching, I'm extending, and I'm bouncing with the lower leg. And I'm trying to keep all the rest going. Okay, so that's a quick tutorial on how to get that back extension of the leg hooping going. So it's kind of fun. Give it a try, and do try it on both sides because that's crucial. So hopefully you've learned some cool things today about the root chakra, about how it influences money, about how it influences the body, your support system, getting that tailbone, the pelvis tucked under, getting a nice little hoop circle going, or the hip circle going, just to get some movement and blood flow in there. And then and trying that little pelvic tilt. So and then getting that back leg hoop extension. So hopefully you had some fun with that. Hopefully you might have either learned something or you learned a new little tip or technique. Try it right away. Let me know how it's working for you. So comment, what are your favorite ways to get this done? So, do you have something that you do for your waist that the root chakra area that helps you with the root chakra area or the legs, Legos, so all that kind of good stuff. So yeah, let me know. All right, thank you so much for watching. I'm Shay Rippinger of Hip the Hoopla. Rock on, peace out. Go check out www.hipthehoopla.com. That's HIPTHEHOOPLA.com, and you can sign up for the Inner Circle World News, and I mean world news email, and get some news that you can use, tutorials, all kinds of good stuff. So thank you so much. All right, take care.